Right.
Because
more
these
kids in the
guys,
system
they
on the
don't
government
even have their own
dollar.
countries
Why do you
anymore.
want
They just do whatever the United States tells them
criminals?
to do. I mean,
Well,
running
London has
around?
also just become a vertical money laundering scheme.
well,
where
that's it.
What is this?
everyone from all over the world and New York, and this is happening to all these great cities, is that people that live there.
I
are
say, why do you
being
want criminals
trained
running around?
Exactly.
Because
and you have billionaires and
Abort- like-
centimillionaires going in and buying up all of this
Yes.
real estate, not contributing
lot of
to the
people-
culture
Correct.
of the city at all.
Yeah.
And in London's case, they have Russian oligarchs throwing people out of windows.
Yes.
otherwise
That
would be
is
aborted, end up turning into
good. I think
criminals.
it's
Who
fine.
would have been aborted?
I mean, I
end up
think it's
turning into
fine
criminals.
because no, they're not. It's not random.
they don't have
JD.
good
It's not like
parents.
oh, I got thrown
Are we
out
talking,
of a window. How
are we
did it
talking
happen?
first floor windows or like 10th
No,
floor
it's 10th
windows?
floor, but
Okay,
it's
well,
people that got
you know,
involved.
Why did I
It's
say
people that were
this?
involved.
I
They knew
can't
the
defend
risk.
that.
They knew the risk. But so to me, it's like I look at these great cities and I say, listen, obviously.
So yeah, I think it's a losing
you want
issue.
people from all over the world to
Personally,
come
I
appreciate
am.
a city.
I mean,
At
I'm
what
anti-abortion in my
point
life.
does
Like,
the purchasing of real estate.
I don't
from
want
foreign
my
nationals
wife getting an
become
abortion
a
for my
major
baby.
problem
Fuck
for Not
no.
only the cost of living of
But
Americans, but the culture of the
I'm
city.
pro people
You know
who
what I mean?
Yes.
Like the
want to abort their
you know,
kids,
it
aborting
seems
them.
insane
Yeah.
that nobody. Ron DeSantis came out and proposed doing something about that, but
it's
very few politicians
Yeah.
have come out and said anything about that issue.
It's very important. I mean, look, London is effectively the world's only
This is
socialist tax
so
haven.
dumb.
Right.
Well, he gives up
it's
that.
just crazy. It's a socialist country, socialist government at this point, but they let billionaires from all over shelter their assets in their country. It's a totally bizarre and screwed up way of thinking about your economy. This is sort of what globalization does, right? And this is what I really worry about. Is like London doesn't feel fully English to me anymore.
No.
Right? New York, of course, is the classic American city.
Yeah.
Over time, I think New York will start to feel less American.
Yeah.
Everything becomes flattened and becomes the same.
Yeah.
And like real diversity actually
Right.
is like I'd kind of like to go to a different place and have it be different.
You want
and
Paris
not-
to be Paris.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not have it all just feel the same.
Right.
Right. That is, I think, a diversity that I can get
But
behind.
people see people see financial migration
Yes.
as an opportunity to go into a country, not respect the laws, the culture, set up a profitable business, and then send that money back to another country. It doesn't seem like a sustainable model.
No, and you have
at
no
all.
you have no investment in that country. We want people who have investments in a place to care about. Well, like if the workers get really pissed, right, then maybe I'll have to pay higher taxes, right?
Right.
So then we're going to focus on making the workers not pissed.
Yeah.
Or if people get really miserable, then they start doing crazy things. They start rioting. Let's make it harder for people.
But
to
other than
riot.
that, I mean,
if you don't have that investment,
For the most
in the
part,
local
other than
community,
that, like the
then
Trump
I think
Republican
that-
Party is
that's what
pretty
this leads
effing
to. And to
libertarian.
your point,
Do
yeah,
you
I think we should
agree?
basically
Do you
ban
disagree?
foreign asset purchases of American land.
You grew up in an area of Virginia, or it might not have been Virginia.
Well, I
It's
grew up-
Appalachia.
born and raised in Ohio,
Right.
But my family's sort of all from the Appalachian part of Eastern
Okay,
Kentucky.
I'm not sure
Okay.
what I'm doing here.
I think of that all as Virginia, but I know that that's not. I know that that's not the case. I
That's
didn't
a
think
very
of Ohio.
LA way of
You know
thinking
what?
about
I didn't
things,
think of
right?
Ohio. I thought
There's-
Ohio was like Grader's ice
there's
cream.
like-
and
I wanna-
heroin, but
like-
fun at like music
I want my
festivals.
rook
I didn't
here.
think of it. I thought of it like more white rapper vibes.
In your mind, it's
Yeah.
like California,
Yeah.
New York, and then just everything
And
in the
then
middle of
Fent.
Virginia. It's all.
Now Chicago and then Fent. But that's what it's becoming. We got to stop it from becoming that.
That's right.
Now, what were the lessons that you learned? Because your book Hillbilly Elegy was
Yeah.
a hit, was a bestseller. It's a movie as well. What were your takeaways? Because I know people that loved the book and
Yeah.
disagreed
Sure.
with some of your takeaways. And
course.
these people probably know better than you because they live in Santa Monica. But because and they go, I don't think he's right about that.
The real
What-
Appalachians in Santa Monica. To be
What?
clear.
Well, by the way, it is. If I'll take you there, and it doesn't look
Actually,
that
at this
different.
point-
Gavin Newsom's turned it into that. What were your takeaways? Because you're.
But yeah,
not
to me,
the-
like,
I mean, the fact that you were able
I've pretty much
go to
been a
Yale Law
libertarian.
School,
Sure.
mount a successful Senate campaign. You're sitting here running for vice president. You come out of an area where circumstances.
That's a
for
piece.
lot of
That's a
people
piece.
are
That's a
tough.
piece.
Yeah.
You blew it, bro.
It's
Oops,
a
a daisy.
deindustrialized area.
Sure.
There's
I've pretty
drug
much been a
problem.
libertarian.
What
You know,
are the
ever,
takeaways
since
in your
early in my
book
adult
when you
life.
look at the things
I
that
graduated
plagued that area
college in
and
2008,
how to,
and in 2009, that's when I got
restore
red
it.
pilled on how evil
Sure.
and
Well,
terrible
it's-
and
I'd
everything
say
government is.
separating
And it
categories,
started
there's
with the
personal
health stuff. It
takeaway,
started
and
with
there's, like, the policy
learning
takeaway,
what
right? Because
healthy
at some
food
level,
is
if
and
you're just a person
isn't,
growing
and
up in a
learning
community
about the
that's
McGovern
been
Commission in the 70s and
deindustrialized,
how
left
they
behind, you kind of have to deal with
you know,
the hand
created
that
the
we're
food
dealt.
pyramid
that's, like,
and just
what
the
really the book was
absolute
about, is,
dumpster
like,
fire
you know,
that
what do you
was.
do now that this thing has already happened? And for me, you know, the biggest thing that I took away from my youth is, you know, one, have a sense of gratitude. Even though we didn't have a whole lot, I tried to be grateful for my grandparents for sacrificing for me, because that prevented me from being resentful and seeing myself as a victim. Right? When I graduated from high school,
So
I was
ever
a
since
pretty
then,
resentful
I've been
kid.
very
I definitely saw
libertarian.
myself as, oh, everybody else has more than I do, and that seeing yourself as a victim, I think, is like a really, really destructive thing for a person. But then there's like a policy takeaway from it, which is, why are we dealing so many shitty hands to people to begin with, right?
Right.
Like, my job as a vice president is different from my job as an 18-year-old kid who just wanted to live a good life, right?
Right.
My job as vice president is to make sure that as many kids in our country as possible have a pretty good starting hand.
Oh my god, I just ran out of time,
And
dude. What the hell? I
I
just
think
ran out of
the
time. I
only
just
way
ran
to
out of
do this, if you
time.
look historically,
Really
if you
crushing
look
this
at, like, just
guy.
our own country,